Well, indeed, we do have a new list out. Driver lineups are starting to be released. Spots are populated and some spots are not. So, big shout out to everybody. We're going to spend just a little bit of time on this, looking at how these teams are going to start filling out. Where the gaps are the most important things that we really want to know. I got some of the cars that are going to be very important coming in next season. We know we're going to be paying a lot of attention to Aston Martin, not because of their drivers, but because of the new regulations, Adrian Newey being involved, becoming a works team, and the new facilities, Honda coming in, Galactus in the chat. What's going on, bro? So we got a lot of things going in. We know for sure we're going to be paying attention to Audi and Cadillac. But with that being said, there are some drivers, situations, and spots that are not filled yet. So at the top, right there on that list, we do have McLaren. McLaren, the two drivers right now that are going back and, well, not even back and forth, in bit of a tussle right now for the drivers' championship. Oscar Piastri is leading that, while Lando Norris is trying to come along and trying to make and close that gap on the points. So hopefully, in the situation come Abu Dhabi, he'll be out in front. What's going on, Miss Dino and Beijing? And as we go to Ferrari, we already know Ferrari, Charles Leclerc, and Lewis Hamilton. A lot of people getting tricked, or not even tricked, a lot of people tricking themselves. A lot of people tricking themselves thinking Lewis Hamilton wasn't going to be in the sport for the rest of the season, let alone next season. But jokes on you, and you look kind of crazy. Ferrari is filled out. We will be paying attention to Ferrari as well, only because they made the blunder of 90% change, and now going into a new regulation. We want to see how they're going to handle that. We do have Red Bull here. And there was some talk about Max Verstappen possibly going to Mercedes, not having the contract with Red Bull. Came out as of late and said that those rumors, he didn't necessarily say the rumors weren't true. He just said that he'll be there 2026. The other driver, we don't know. All right. Yuki right now may not be driving for Red Bull. And it could be quite possible that Red Bull are looking elsewhere for another driver to come up into that seat, as we kind of adjacent go into the Racing Bulls. Both of those are silhouetted out. Okay. So that's going to be Liam Lawson. That's going to be Hadjar. There's probably going to be a move there. Liam Lawson won't be the move. What's up, AD? What's up? What's up, Kamisha? Liam Lawson won't be the move. He'll be there. I just don't know if he'll be there. Okay. So either he's in the Racing Bulls or he's not. That's the only way it's going. He's not coming up to the Red Bulls. Hadjar would likely do that. I kind of hope he wouldn't, because of the way that car's been developed. But then again, with new leadership in place, the Red Bull could take a different direction in its philosophy of development of the car, which then might suit Hadjar to have a beneficial time and experience in Red Bull. So right now, Max Verstappen only there. Racing Bulls uncertain, and the other second seat uncertain in the Racing Bulls. As we go to Mercedes, we do know George Russell, as I know, does not have a contract yet. We are looking at to see where Kimi Antonelli is going to be. Likely he'll still be there. There's no reason to bring in a young sensation like Kimi Antonelli and then just toss him to the Wolves. He's had some learning experience. He's bumped his head, but at the same time, Mercedes has also bumped their head. George Russell should still be at Mercedes, and they should still get that contract locked up, given Max Verstappen said what he said, unless what Max Verstappen said is not true and is a completely utter bullshit lie. But with that being said, I would expect that Mercedes will have the same two drivers in 2026. Now, what happens in 2027? That's going to be an entirely different ball game. Coming to Aston Martin, Alonso, Lance Stroll, I don't see that changing. If any change would or was to happen there, it would likely be Felipe Drugovich coming up into one of those spots, or another driver coming into that spot, and then Felipe going somewhere else. But as it sits right now, they're locked in with their two drivers. Alpine, uncertain besides for Gasly, no brakes. And they're still trying to figure out Colapinto, Jack doing. Jack do nothing, Colapinto crashing out. Colapinto definitely hasn't had as many accidents as he had before. Think a bit better driver in this form. Definitely still not a high caliber driver that you would think you're going to win a driver's championship or a constructor's championship with, but neither is Pierre Gasly. But Alpine is another team of focus, and I left them out on the slideshow, but they are another team of focus because they're going to demote themselves from a works team to a customer team by way of Mercedes. Haas, you're not wrecking if you're not racing at Haas. Haas has Ollie Behrman right there in Ocon. I don't see that changing right now. I think they're going to stick with that. I don't think Haas are, I mean, I know they had the dual pirouette that just happened not too long ago, but I don't think Haas is obscenely like not feeling them, and definitely not in a situation where they would feel we need to go ahead and change drivers and we need to do so now. So I think those drivers still will be there, and I do expect for them to be there, and I do expect for Haas to kind of keep progressing as a team with this partnership with Toyota. But we'll see. All right, I'm not out on Ocon. I'm not out on Berryman. I think we need to see a little bit more from Team Haas supporting their drivers, and then their drivers coming along showing us where they're going to support their team. Team Williams definitely locked out. Mr. Williams locked out. If you don't know where that movie comes from, or you don't know where that line comes from in a movie, you need to go ahead and watch the movie, and I'll tell you the movie now is higher learning. So Williams right now locked in. Sainz and Albon, both drivers definitely there. Sainz kind of having a learning curve, just as other drivers going into their team for the first year, first season, first ecosystem of that. But Sainz, I think, will come along next season. Albon will keep doing what he's doing. He got progressively better this season. I think he had a little black slide last season, but also keep in mind Williams is not going to develop for the rest of the season. They're kind of going to dial it back, trying to focus on 2026. A little disappointed in that. Wanted to see them kind of move a bit as far as they could this season. But remember, if you're going to short this season to try to long next season and you don't really knock it out the park, or not even knock it out the park, you're not batting a good average, I'm going to give you a lot of flack. We already went over the Racing Bulls. They're vacant right there. But Cadillac finally, a real American team is about to be on the Formula One racing grid, because Haas is only a P.O. box in America. That is not a real American team. I don't even give a damn about a Gene Haas having it or owning it or being in NASCAR, whatever the case is. Haas is not an American team. We don't even recognize Haas as an American team. And if I asked a bunch of Americans around America in cities, they probably wouldn't even know American team existed on the grid. So yes, Cadillac. Cadillac is where it's at, okay? And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be a Cadillac supporter. GM support all day. I've had many GM cars. Got one now, Tahoe, you know it. So waiting for them to see. I am thinking that Valtteri and Sergio Perez may be very well in that seat. And if it's not Valtteri and it's Perez, I'm thinking Felipe Drugovich or a couple of other candidates. But we can get into that in another video. Right now, we got Audi sliding into Formula One as well as Cadillac. Two new teams about to grace us and give us a presentation of what it is to come into Formula One for your first season and have a strong season. Although a strong season, maybe not as high as you want him to be on the Constructors Championship board. Miss Dino in the Super Chat says, you back on coffee, Speedy, all up. I actually cannot drink coffee probably for the rest of my life, Miss Dino. I really wish I could have had a nice, enriched, deep, robust black of coffee, but I cannot. And actually, I've been up from about 1:30 this morning, so if I'm high or up on anything, it's lack of sleep. But as it sits right there, we got Audi coming into Formula One, and I am excited about Audi and Cadillac coming in because we know where they come from and what they do, and there's two new teams, and you always want to see what the new kids on the block can do with the current kids on the block. So yes, I am excited about that. And that is the driver lineup right now. Now, this is going to change throughout the rest of this month and even leading into the break and another break. This is going to change. It's not going to be the same. We're going to see some of these seats occupied. And that is what is interesting. Seeing contracts get locked up, new drivers for Cadillac are the most exciting. So let me know down below, Miss Dino. I send you a very special Wolfpack good morning, because I wish I could have coffee. You have a cup of coffee for me. I don't like creamer, no sugar. Just take a little cup of black coffee for me. Take that shot for me, and I'd really appreciate it. So let me know, what drivers do you think Cadillac should be employing, and where they should be coming from, and what do you think Audi should do? Do you think Audi should hold on to Hulkenberg? I think Bortoleto definitely, but what do you think about Hulkenberg, and what do you think about the whole Red Bull ecosystem, 4 cars, 4 drivers, 2 teams? Where do you think those drivers are going to land, and do you believe Max Verstappen about the BS that he's going to stay with Red Bull, maybe for 2026, but what do you think about 2027? All right, with that being said, that is the driver lineup as of right now. We will be having another live coming up soon. And we had Wolves in this past week, and Miss Dino says she's hate coffee. Damn it. Okay, tea. Hey, good tea. I like tea. I like mango tea, by the way. All right, with that being said, I will talk to you all soon and later.